Yeah.
I'm ready for the cringy intro.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
All right, I'll...
Don't laugh too hard. Hey everyone, welcome to Kokoda Drive.
Hi, Internet. I'm Effie.
And I'm Leo, and what are we doing?
Today we have
Who
a
is
friend. This is Briggs. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello, and we're gonna have a really heated debate.
Really heated.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be riveting.
Can you tell by the tone in my voice?
We're gonna be talking about anime and manga and kind of anime versus manga because Briggs likes to read manga and we don't. So, yeah. Discussion.
Well, I definitely love both. I'm a fan of both, but I definitely think there's like pros to reading manga. And I found over time, like as I continue to be more and more of an anime fan, like I started swapping over to manga more.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because, yeah, neither of us have ever touched the manga, to be honest.
Well, I've tried to read manga, I just never got into it. I don't know.
That's surprising. So you guys have never felt like fallen for the go read the manga ending where it just leaves you hanging and like you have to go read the source material.
Nope.
No, honestly, maybe I'm just patient. I don't know.
So.
Oh, I have zero patience.
Oh, well. That's
So why-
understandable.
So why did you start?
Good shush, babe.
Shut up, Elf. Not here for you. I'm drinking some of my cucumber water to calm my anxiety. Okay. So why did you start reading manga? Is it just because you weren't patient enough for the anime to come out?
I think that was the initial thing where I'd finish a show and then just not be patient enough and just right away just read 100 chapters of manga, and I felt like there was just so much more source material compared to the anime that would be out. And that's what initially I guess drew me into that world. And then when I was young I had all this time, I could watch 800 episodes of One Piece and no problem. But now that I'm in school, I'm working and I'm doing YouTube, I feel like I could read 100 chapters of manga in a day. Well, 100 chapters, the equivalent would be 40 episodes, I guess, 50 episodes. That would take me months to do it with anime. You can just it's so much faster and less time consuming, I guess, as you get older.
I understand that. I don't know. With manga, I've never felt the urge to read it because there's so much anime in the world now. When I finish a series, even if I really liked it, I could just move on to something else.
Yeah,
You know?
there's always something
That's
new,
true.
right?
And then I've watched Hunter x Hunter 3 or 4 times, the entire series,
Yeah.
and that's one of my favorites. But I've never felt the urge to read the manga, and I feel like if there's any chance of an anime coming back at all, I won't touch it.
Oh, you won't touch the anime, or you just won't touch the manga? 'Cause
I
there
won't
might be a
touch.
chance.
Yeah, I won't touch the manga because I feel like it has to be one or the other. I don't want to read both. I do the same thing with books. If I watch a movie that is a book adaptation, I won't read the book, and if I read a book, then I won't watch the movie. I don't know.
You're so weird about that, though.
That's so weird. 'Cause I like to compare sometimes. I know some people will just literally continue from where the anime left off with the manga, but I'll be well, now I want to see how the manga did it, so I'll restart from chapter 1.
Right, that makes sense.
Isn't saving time, but I like to compare the differences.
No, same. Honestly, it kind of makes me feel like I have a little edge on everyone who just watched the movie sometimes. Especially
Yeah,
with, more popular stuff like Book Thief. There's a bunch of stuff they left out there. Not that that's anime related or anything, just the only example I had in my head.
Well, that's actually a good I guess topic for this debate. 100% anime has a lot of positives to it. I'll let you guys talk about just bringing it to bringing it in motion and bringing it to life. How it could be so much more immersive, I guess.
Yeah.
But for manga, I feel sometimes they give you more of a lot of times the anime I guess takes stuff out. It's not a one-to-one depiction, right?
Oh, yeah.
The best way I could think about this is, I guess, I don't know if this is a great example. I'm trying to think. I'm just looking about One Piece right now, and the anime, the pacing is so horrible that I just feel I'm not getting the same out of and the animation and artwork in One Piece. The anime is disgusting compared to the manga. So it just I feel I get so much more out of the manga, information wise and art style wise.
That's interesting. I would have never even thought of that.
I think there's a few series where it is the animation in the manga and in the anime are really different, like Aku no Hana, Flowers of Evil. Those two were really different, the styles of animation and what it looked like in the manga. But I think that the information, taking out information is kind of something that is made up for with animation and soundtracks and voice acting. I don't know. I feel like if the experience is good, I don't care if I'm missing out on a bit of the lore.
Well, like I'm a nerd and like I eat up that like lore stuff. Like that's basically my channel is like every little thing you can know about characters in the series. Like I want to know it all. And like the anime comes later. The actual enjoyment comes later. I don't know. That sounds really stupid. I don't know why the entire time I was thinking about like that example, I couldn't think of a good example other than Harry Potter. Like, is it anime or manga? Like a book has so much more information than the actual like movie.
Right.
No, that's an awesome example. Like even if it's off topic, whatever, I did the same thing. Like just
I'm trying to think of an example of that. Oh,
Example.
Berserk. Berserk's never gotten a faithful adaptation at all.
They've never gotten a good anime adaptation.
Have you guys seen the 97 series?
I've seen
or, like, any of Berserk?
I watched the original series. I didn't watch the 2016 no.
So yeah, the original series actually was pretty good. Like it did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I still think like it can't capture like Mayura. Is it Mayura the like the mangaka? Like his art style is just on another level.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion. But 2016, 2017 series was absolutely disgusting. Like it was horrible.
oh shit.
I don't know. I also didn't like manga. This is like really superficial, but I don't like the layout of it. Like,
wait, what do you mean?
Well, okay, so the way that the panels are, I don't know if you've ever read manga. Let me see if I have one.
Here.
Yeah, let me show you.
It just like it takes some time to get because you haven't read much manga, right? So you're not used to it.
I have a lot of manga, I just don't read it. So it'll go across and then down. See, I have a one.
You're chilling there. All I had to do is look down.
And then sometimes it'll go down and then it'll go across, and I get confused because I'll read things out of order.
No offense, I think that might just be you.
and if it's not done right, and if there's like a spoiler on the page and you read that first and then you go back and read everything else, that just really ruins the experience for me.
There's sometimes where I'll take a glance at the overall page and then start reading. I'm like, same thing happens where you get spoiled about like the ending of the page.
And then it's like, oh man, I just ruined that for myself.
Just really like look at the breaks in the like the panels, I guess, and then it's right to left based off the breaks. But some panels are like lengthy down the page, so you would be reading down and then back up type of thing.
Yeah.
You just gotta look at like the break in the panel.
Yeah.
But that's also what separates like a good mangaka from a bad mangaka. Like if you ever read Dragon Ball, somehow it's more or less all fighting, but somehow it flowed. The fight flowed throughout the page. And I watch other series, like Black Clover, for example. I don't know. I don't have good examples in my head right now of like another fighting like shonen type of thing that just doesn't do it as well. But a good mangaka should make it easy to read the page. While like when it's not as good, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to follow the story.
That's interesting.
I guess that's a good point. But at least with the anime, it's all linear, you know? There's no... I mean, unless you go on the internet, there's no chance of spoiling things for yourself.
But if you're a YouTuber, you're just gonna get spoiled regardless. It's impossible. Like, honestly, like, I have notifications on to get, like, manga updates for when the new episode of Seven Deadly Sins come out. I know, like, I'm just gonna get spammed with comments and someone's gonna ruin my day.
Oh, yeah.
One thing in support of anime, I guess this is less of a debate and more of a conversation, which I'm completely down with.
That's fine.
Like I know this in One Piece, for example. There's this every once in a while there's like songs and stuff. I'm a horrible fan that I can't remember the song name. Oh, Bing Sake. There we go. It's like when you're reading it in the manga, you're literally reading it. Like it's pretty bland, and then like you watch the anime and they bring it to life. And like music is one thing that like I guess. Really, like I would way rather prefer the anime, of course. Like I can't picture a song that well.
Right. I think soundtracks are like a really important part of anime. Soundtracks and like sound effects and everything. Voice actors too, that just bring it to life and add another element that makes it more immersive. And with manga, you don't really have any of that.
100%. Like even just background music, like in a fight, for example, makes the fight so much more intense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's the same fight from the manga, but adding some background music and some sound effects and a good voice actor, like you said, really brings it to life. You know what? Actually, that's interesting. I was talking to someone about this like recently about like why one of my friends why they can't read manga. He's like, I can't picture their voices.
Right.
It's like
That's interesting.
I
Though.
always enjoy the manga more though if I've watched like a first season of the anime and then I
Mhm.
read the manga. 'Cause I have like their voices in my head. But I could see that like if you just start like something like Kingdom that doesn't have like an anime adaptation, it's like you don't know what voice like you can't picture the voice of the character, right?
Right,
That's
especially
true.
because it's not like a novel. Because with a novel, you imagine everything. You imagine the background, what the characters look like, and what they sound like. But with a manga, it's all like the character artwork and the backgrounds and stuff, the settings are all given to you visually. So it can be harder to imagine certain things like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's also some really important character aspects in anime that don't get transferred over to manga, like with voice acting and stuff.
Right.
Because there's certain dialects in Japanese that are really important to certain characters. They're like,
That's
you
true.
can't get that from
Yeah.
reading, but at the
Yeah.
same time.
I really enjoyed that in like Kimi no Na wa, hearing the different dialects and stuff and how it was like a cultural difference, and that is something that you can't,
Yeah, that went all over Japan.
you can't hear that in manga.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I loved Kimi no Nawa.
It was so
Especially,
good.
Oh, yeah.
especially the soundtrack.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That was so golden.
I listen to that on a daily basis.
Me too.
What was I gonna say? But another this random point. I'm just trying to think. There's a lot of adaptations that stray from the source material. So I guess a positive for manga would be that it's the most accurate to what the author wants, right?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
no. I'm not even going to argue with that.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of an example. Like Soul Eater, for example, it started, or even Full Metal Alchemist, the first one. It started following the manga, and then it just strayed on its own path because it caught up to the source material.
Right.
And like Soul Eater, like it was good, and I just didn't like. I felt the ending was so rushed and like so all over the place. And then I'm like, I just thought I never even knew manga existed. Like Soul Eater was one of the first anime I watched, and then I learned about it. And I read the manga. I'm like, this is 10 times better. Like this ending actually like made sense.
Or they do the things with Naruto with all the fillers. If they don't have enough source material,
it's so
they'll just give you
disgusting.
like 50 episodes of fillers, and I don't like that.
I think it's like 45% of Naruto is filler.
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah.
That's.
It's ridiculous.
I think that is a good thing about manga. It doesn't have like all of the fillers
So it's
because
all
it doesn't
meaningful.
need to bide its time for more source material because it is the source material.
Exactly. And that's actually like, so I ended up reading Naruto instead of watching it once. Like I got to like the war arc, I guess, because the filler was just absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with One Piece. I've been reading One Piece for over a decade now,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually unbelievable. When I just put that together like a couple weeks ago, because I was like on a podcast, and someone said they were reading it for like over a decade. I'm like, shit, so have I. I did not even think about that. But I ended up stopping just because the pacing in One Piece, instead of putting filler, they just draw out every fight. They make every conversation longer. So like it's a unique way of doing it. I actually prefer it over than like a filler episode.
Yeah.
But the pacing is absolutely horrible.
I think I'd rather have a filler episode. At least you can like skip those. You can just not watch
That's-
them and not miss anything.
I'm just biased with One Piece, I guess, because I love it so much. So it's like I always have to like find a way to make One Piece better than Naruto.
No, I agree with all the points so far, but so also listening to just the conversation and everything, and what I'm kind of getting so far is that if you really want the best experience, you probably do what you're doing. So like
Do both.
reading the manga first, yeah, and then going and watching the anime. Just
Yeah.
so like, same with books and movies and their adaptations. Just so you kind of have that edge and you get like all the background and the story and everything if you're into that. Personally, I never really cared about too much of the background unless I really get into something.
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, no, I'm such a nerd. Like I'll watch a show. That's actually how I came up with my content. To be honest, like I watched someone's video and I'm like, that was so cool. I literally do that research for fun. I should start doing this like for videos.
Yeah.
Like on the Seven Deadly Sins, all the characters are based off of like Arthurian legends and stuff. Like a lot of inspirations for
wow.
characters that comes from mythology and stuff. And like I would research this stuff just for fun. I'm like, why don't I just make videos about this?
Yeah. See, there you go.
I didn't realize any of that until you just said it either. So
I don't know. I just sometimes adaptations are better than the source material. Like, I know some people don't believe that at all, but there are some anime adaptations and like movie adaptations that are better than the source material, in my opinion.
I could agree with that.
That's
I think
true.
it's unique, very unique cases, but I could definitely agree with that. I'm trying to think. Do you have any examples? Well, Kimi no Nawa was one. I don't even know like what the source material is. Is it a light novel? Is it a?
I have no idea. I
Yeah,
have no idea.
So I know Silent Voice has a manga.
Yeah, it is a manga. I have not seen that one yet, though. I don't know.
Do you have any other examples? I'm trying to think.
For a movie, the one I can think of was the John Green novel, Paper Towns, and the movie was so much better. The book was just bad. There's just some things like that where like the anime is just better.
Well, I think I'm trying to like anything from Madhouse. Like it comes down to the studio as well. Like some studios, it's like if you could do a perfect depiction of the manga, like without leaving stuff out, and then the animation's good and has a good soundtrack, then in my opinion, the anime is better. Like better than the source material.
Right.
The problem is, I find so many times that it just doesn't. They don't do a good enough job adapting it, or some of them are just too hard to adapt. Like Mayura's works. For Berserk, his art, I feel like they can't even adapt that. It can't be done.
Well, like same with Junji Ito. The Junji Ito collection came out this winter, and it was just bad because like the artwork and the details couldn't be translated into anime.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing with Hunter x Hunter, right? I know you're a fan of Hunter x Hunter.
Mhm.
The artwork's horrible. It's very bland and like pretty basic. I don't want to like really. I feel like I'm being too negative in this stream that I'm gonna get some haters in the comments, whatever. But I feel like the anime does a better job for sure.
Right.
I could agree with that.
Especially with all of the soundtracks and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes in Hunter x Hunter that are like just so much better being in a cinematic form.
Yeah, you can feel tension and mood and themes better. And I think with all of the mood shifts in an anime like Hunter x Hunter, it could kind of be harder to portray without like coloring or soundtracks, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. The one good thing though is you're always gonna get an ending with source, or like most of the time you're gonna get an ending with source material. Like I was thinking the ending we got with Hunter x Hunter.
Oh gosh, there's very few anime that have actual endings, even like really long running series.
Well, when I think about Hunter x Hunter though, I feel like it's kind of like I think Hunter x Hunter is like probably one of the best shonens, but the overall like I guess like reason for like, or I don't even know how to explain this. Like, there's no way to do a good ending because it had a shitty like for example, Luffy wants to be the Pirate King. His goal and his end goal is very like stood out, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, goal and he wanted to find his dad.
And then he already did that. Yeah.
He already did that. It's such an anticlimactic ending. Like I feel like there's no way to end Hunter x Hunter good.
Yeah.
Not the way they set it up for themselves. Everything else is a damn masterpiece until the end.
Oh, it's absolutely unbelievable. Like it's amazing. I was trying to think like
how would they end it? Yeah.
The way they started off and like the goal for Gon leaving, they can't really bring that to a close in a good way. I can't picture it.
Not really. They did the best with what they could, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's still a little sad, but whatever.
I think that like the true ending, I have no idea where it's gonna go. But like, I think things like you're right, like One Piece and Naruto. Yeah.
We'll never see.
Yeah. Things like One Piece and Naruto, they had like a straight ending because once they reached that big goal, like to be the Hokage or to like find One Piece, then you can just end it. They reach the goal and it's the end.
I think eventually there's gonna be a good ending for One Piece, right?
Right.
And I guess Naruto had a good ending. Yeah. I don't even remember. It's been so long. I didn't watch the anime towards the end. I just read the rest of the manga and called it a day. So it's probably like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I get like so lazy waiting week for week. Like I have no patience, like I said earlier, that I'll just like read 300 chapters in like 2-3 days. I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like, don't need to waste the next like 5 years of my life watching this week by week.
Right. And no, I kind of like the week by week though. It gives you something to look forward to, but I also do binge a lot of series, which is why things like Crunchyroll and Netflix are great, because it's like all there and you can just watch it all in one go.
It's so bad.
I'm definitely a binger. I cannot do like seasonal anime week by week. Only thing I do that for is reading One Piece week by week, just because it's like my favorite manga.
Right.
But other than that, like I don't have the patience, and I don't have the patience for One Piece either. But I just have no other choice. If there was another source material that I could jump to that had an ending, I would. But like I'm already at the bottom source material.
That makes sense.
That's true. I might go buy some manga just because, like, the impatience level I feel sometimes.
Only for certain shows, and then it slowly ebbs away, you know, as you watch something else. That's the only reason why. If it was like
So
before,
I gotta find a new fix.
Yeah, before when you could only watch a few shows at a time and it only aired at certain times, or you could only buy it physically on DVD, then of course I would understand reading the manga because you wouldn't have access to a bunch of other like anime and series.
That's fair, but I want a conclusion to stuff like. But I think the only like solution, the only remedy is like take your mind off it by watching another show, like you said.
Yep.
And also, I guess this is weird. I think I've watched so much anime over the years that like I've started to like try to look for like new manga that don't have an anime adaptation yet. I've only recently started to do that, like for example with Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I have a harder time finding good anime nowadays. It's because I don't want to watch season I don't have the patience.
Right.
So I'll wait to the end of the season, like watch like one or two gems that are actually okay, and then like I've watched so much anime. I feel like I don't have time to search for so many shows, and like I'm still new to the realm of manga, so like I have like more options. It's like when you first get into anime, everything's good.
Right.
You're watching Death Note, you're watching like Code Geass, like all the classics that everyone recommends because you haven't watched it yet. That's like me in the world of manga right now.
And then you get into like the seasonal stuff and it's just mediocre, but you don't have anything else to watch. So you're just like...
You get to that point and you're like, shit. And then eventually, hopefully, you guys too, you ascend to the level of manga.
Ascend.
The one thing I don't like about manga is I like to watch anime in Japanese because I'm a little bit bilingual because my family is from Japan. So I like to hear the Japanese and then we can watch it together because it's subbed, and it's kind of like hearing it in its original form and it's not messed up by like English translations. But with manga, it's really hard to get in the US in Japanese, or it's really hard and expensive to ship it from Japan to here in Japanese. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't read manga as much.
I guess that's like really, really good point. Cause I always like my argument, I guess, was that like manga was the original source. It's the closest to what the author wanted. But at the end of the day, like I feel like it's not. I don't know how to explain this. Like I guess the original Japanese like voice actors is also like its own thing that the manga doesn't provide, right?
Right.
And like you're not gonna get good translations. But that's also, you have an edge because you like could speak Japanese.
Right. So like sometimes I just laugh at the translations. Like that's not what they're saying. That's not what's going on at all.
With the little bit I've learned from you, there's a few translations I've made out too that I'm like, wait.
Like that's not what that says.
Like, wait a second.
So if that's the case with anime, I feel like that would be the case with manga as well. Just like, and translations are subjective. I would say something differently than someone else would translate something, you know, just because of how grammar is different and like colloquialisms and stuff. But I would want to see it in its like truest form if I was going to read the source material, but it's just like a hassle.
Yeah. Shout out to all the people who translate stuff. I'm surprised that's actually a thing. Like fan translation and fan dubs or fan subs.
The fan ones are always so much more like better than some of the companies too.
Yeah, because they have like the passion, you know.
I feel like pretty much like almost everything that like I read, if it's on a weekly basis, it's fan translations. But one time they fucked up huge for the 7 Deadly Sins. They like, and it annoys me to this day. Cause I still get people commenting saying I'm wrong, and I'm like, where'd you get that from? And then someone like told me like there was a mistranslation, and they sent me the manga pan. I'm like, wow, that fucks everything up. They basically said like, who this person's parents were, but the translation was completely wrong, and they weren't actually related.
Oh.
And it literally changed everything, like race-wise and like theory-wise. Like it fucked everything up.
Wow.
Oh damn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like.
See, translation is important. That's why.
For sure.
That's why you can't read things in the Englishes.
Honestly, I'm still trying to catch up on like a lot of the really originals right now.
I indoctrinated him, and now he's one of us.
You did a good job.
Yes.
Honestly, it's so hard to get people into anime. I've been trying to get my girlfriend into anime like for a while. It's a struggle.
I think you have to be really like open to a lot of like new media forms because it's different.
Well, before anime, one of my favorite shows was Vikings, and that's still playing. So like
yeah, but I think the first anime I ever made him watch was it Clanad? Or
yeah, it was Clanad.
Or was it Hunter x Hunter? I think it was Clanad, and so after that he was sold.
Yeah, Clanad was so good.
You don't want something crazy? I dropped Clanad. I still never watched it fully. I watched the first 2 episodes. I know After Story is supposed to be like amazing, and I watched the first 2 episodes of Clanad. I'm like, I still want to do this.
Clanad in itself, the first series, is a little bit boring. It's a little bit ecchi.
Yeah,
kind of a harem. But the second season, After Story, is just kind of so worth it that I would power through.
Yeah. And I think that's another reason why, like, I just didn't seem like my type of show. Why I'm having, like, I'm struggling to, like, recommend something to my girlfriend. It's because, like, I basically watch shonen.
Right.
Like, I have watched a lot of anime, but 90% of them are just, like, jack guys beating the shit out of each other.
I feel that.
And friendship, you know?
Yeah. Power of friendship.
But, I'm trying to recommend stuff to her, and I'm trying to think, like, I think we just enjoyed completely different things in terms of, like, TV shows. Like, even, like, outside of anime, so it's like, I don't know how to bring her into this world. I'm not the right person for it. This has got a little bit off topic, but maybe I should recommend some manga.
Yeah, see? No, you should recommend her some anime. You should, I'll message you some things that she'll like, female to female.
Yeah. Well, she really likes Steins Gate. Have you guys seen Steins Gate?
Steins Gate? Yeah.
You should. It's great.
It's good. She likes Steins Gate?
Yeah, she did.
That's good.
And Death Note.
And Death Note.
I think those are like Death Note's like just like you gotta start with Death Note.
Everyone likes Death Note.
Yeah.
That's like universal. There's no.
Did you read the Death Note manga?
I was just about to say I haven't.
Oh really? That's actually surprising.
I don't know if it will be as good because the show is like so good, but
the show is really well done. I think a lot of the stuff I like watched I started like my anime like journey with. I haven't read the source material for like stuff like Code Geass.
Oh yeah.
Death Note. Well, Steins Gate's based off of a game.
Is it?
Yeah. That's why it's called like Multiple Roots, and they're like doing a new season now. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
How do you guys feel about light novels?
It depends on the light novel, but a lot of like really dumb series come from light novels. No Game No Life was a light novel though, and I liked that one, even though it was really ecchi.
Was it really?
Yeah, No Game No Life.
See, I didn't know that, and I enjoyed that one too.
Yeah. I've read all I'm up to date reading the light novels for No Game No Life. It's just one of those like Madhouse is never giving us a second season. Like maybe one day.
They're never.
I couldn't wait. I couldn't do it.
Right.
Same thing with Devil is a Part-Timer. Those are the 2 light novels like I'm currently like caught up with.
Yeah, I think I would like light novels a little bit more than manga, just because I talked about the paneling, and that would be a factor that would be taken out. But also a lot of light novels today are trash. So like,
oh yeah,
they're just.
Well, I don't even think No Game No Life is like written all that great. I just needed to find out more about the story.
Right.
I actually think Devil is a Part-Timer was a good read.
You think so? I love Devil is a Part-Timer. That was a really good anime. But it was so short. That's one downfall of anime, is they make it so short, especially with the seasonal animes. It's just, they're like 14 to like 24 episodes a season, and then that's it. And then then you're really lucky to get past like 3 or 4 seasons nowadays.
That's never enough.
12 to 13 episodes is never enough. Like,
No,
Nope.
it's so much just torture in between.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Only the really popular ones even get like 24 episodes now. It's really sad.
Yeah. I definitely prefer manga over light novels, though. Just because you get to
Oh,
see
yeah.
the art, right?
Yeah, and I
Agreed.
think that a lot of manga, even if a lot of manga isn't like super great, the quality is still generally much better than light novels. Light novels seems to attract like a certain crowd.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like so many of like the ecchi harems or like have come from light novels, which throws me off a little bit. Because wouldn't you think the appeal of the ecchi harems would be like
And
actually seeing it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like seeing the harem and like seeing the fan service. Well, like I feel like reading it, I would not be able to do that. I don't know how they became
Oh
popular.
no, there weren't any pictures in 50 Shades of Grey, and look how that did. So
That's true. I guess if it's like written well enough, you could like visualize it, right?
but I don't know. I haven't read any, so I
Something
can't
like that.
speak to the writing. But just the anime adaptations that come from light novels have not been good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say manga over light novels, but I still like anime more than manga.
See, like if I had to choose, like if I had to, I think I'd probably still choose anime over manga as well. Just
wait, really?
that's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
Just because I've only like recently gotten into the like I guess the world of manga.
Right.
Other than like One Piece and like those like long running shonens and stuff.
Well, yeah.
How do you read your manga? Is it like online or do you like physical
Yeah.
copies? Oh, I can't
I
do
read
that.
it online.
I
I
read.
buy like the first chapter of physical copies just to have it, just kind of like just collect, but I don't even read it.
I can't read digitally. Just for me, that's why if I ever read manga, it would be really expensive.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, we wouldn't have enough room to put everything.
Yeah.
It's just buying One Piece, you'd fill up your entire room.
Yeah.
That's accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep an open mind with the. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should give it a try. If that's where you're going, manga wise.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna give it a try. I'm still like trying to catch up with everything, but
I changed my mind. Sorry, this is so random. I was thinking like, what if I had to choose one or the other? I was thinking about like all the good memories I had like watching anime growing up. But if it, like at my current age, I'd choose manga just because I like save so much time. But if I had to like choose one or the other like forever, I would have probably chose anime growing up 'cause I had all the time. That's definitely a huge factor for me. Just the fact I could read like 100 chapters in a day and
Right.
fly through it.
I guess I'd agree too. Like, even if I did enjoy manga just as much as I did anime, just because it's like how I started and everything. Like, what was it? Hunter x Hunter was like what really got me in all the shonen and everything. So,
Yeah.
kind of just can't picture like myself just reading it if I had to choose one, just because there's all the stuff that would be missing.
No, for sure. That's the thing, though. Every time I think about like trying to choose, I'm just like, I need endings for shows, right? But Hunter x Hunter, I don't want to read the manga. I did read a little bit of it, but I didn't like it nearly as much. It really depends, and a lot of anime comes from light novels too, or like video games and stuff,
Right.
not just manga.
And there are a few things in manga that I would like to read that we're probably never going to see animated. Like in Hunter x Hunter, I heard that Crollo and Hisoka, their fight got put into the manga, and I'd really like to see that animated, or even just
that'd
read
be
about
cool.
it. But like,
Wow. I didn't know
I feel
that.
like I'd miss a lot, and I don't want to read the entire manga.
Yeah. Well, no, you'd be surprised though. I don't know how many chapters Hunter x Hunter has. You could fly through a manga pretty fast, right? I'm sure Hunter x Hunter probably has a lot though.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I mean,
I feel like it takes me like 5 minutes to read a chapter. Not even. If I like,
That's
if I'm
interesting.
if I'm skimming, like if I'm making a video about something, I'll spend like 20 minutes and like actually like do it. But if I'm just trying to get like this content quick, I could read it in like 5 minutes. In which case, that'd be equivalent to like an entire 20-minute episode of One Piece, which
That's
is horrible,
true.
like 1-to-1.
I mean, it is like the drawings and stuff, they take up a lot of space, but it doesn't take up as much time to consume it, you know? But
Yeah.
I don't know if you can just breeze through it, if the experience will be the same. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because
No, I don't think the experience is the same if you breeze through it. Like I remember I read Kenichi the first time and I like flew through it because it was like exam season,
Mhm.
and then I'm like that was amazing, that was good. And I read it a second time and I still love the anime for Kenichi, but I don't think the manga is as good. 'Cause the second time I actually like took my time and really absorbed it.
And I think with the anime, one of the benefits is that the directors and the animators can choose what frames you linger on and like your visual experience. But with manga, you kind of look at the panels yourself and choose how long you look at them, and that can kind of hinder if you like really get what the artist is trying to portray or not.
That's true, but that also brings it to the point if the studio does a good job or not, right? Like I think Madhouse always does a great job at adapting, but there's certain studios or like just certain anime I feel like the adaptation's horrible in comparison. I'm trying to think of examples. Again, One Piece, Soul Eater, Naruto. Anything that's long running, it's gonna be horrible because they want to draw it out and make as much money as possible, as many
Right.
episodes
Oh, yeah.
as possible, right? In which case, I always recommend just read the manga. And even when the anime catches up to the manga, right, and it runs out of source material and they start going on their own path, or they try to like slow things down so they don't catch up, it's just like at the end of the day, it's a business, and sometimes it affects like animation and like actually like producing on this ridiculous schedule really affects the quality.
Right. No, I think good anime
Yeah, I
adaptations
love
are
that.
always going to be better, in my opinion, just because of the experience that you can have. And it's not like I don't like reading. Like, I enjoy reading. It's something that I do often, but I think reading manga is different than reading, like, American novels, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I think reading manga and reading light novels or reading manga and reading anything, right, is completely different experience.
It's a different experience, and I think it takes a lot of time, especially in the West, where it's not something that we grew up with, to kind of be able to read it in a way that, like, you can absorb the story right.
Yeah.
Well, the West is always still going to be behind just a little bit, just because everything comes from Japan. It takes so long to get over here.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they're getting a lot better, right? Like what
Oh,
blows
yeah.
a little bit off topic, but what blows my mind is like simulcast dubs where they
Mhm.
could have a dub out like the next day
Yeah, that's
or like
insane.
Yeah.
1 week later. Like that's absolutely fucked. And like I know they did that for My Hero Academia last season, I think.
This is the dub. That's
Yeah.
crazy
Oh,
because
Oh, I didn't
What do
know
you guys-
that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said I didn't know that they did that so quickly for the dub
Yeah.
for My Hero Academia.
I don't know if they're doing it this season. They did it last season where like it'd just be out one episode behind in dub.
interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you guys prefer subs or dubs? I know you prefer subs.
Subs.
Subs as well?
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever
Wow.
watched a dubbed anime because I don't watch dubbed anime.
Yeah, I have. I found this one really obscure one that I kind of got into, and I forget what the fuck it's called now. It was just so off out there. It was on YouTube too, so
Is
I'm
it-
trying to think.
Which one are you talking about? Full Metal Panic?
Full Metal Panic. That's what it was.
I
Was
think
it?
I watched that in dubbed as well.
Yeah, I was watching that dub for a little while just because, like, why not? It was on YouTube and it was all free, so, like, why not?
Yeah. I think when I started watching anime, I watched everything in dubbed just because like I was casual. And then like as I got like more invested into it, I started watching subs.
I think I've always watched everything subbed. Or not any titles at all. But I did watch Sailor Moon. I rented it off of Blockbuster.
Oh, going way back.
When that still existed.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
how
shit.
that's how I started watching anime. Is I watched Sailor Moon and it was dubbed and I rented it out of Blockbuster, and then after that I can't remember. I think I started watching Naruto or something.
But if you were to watch Sailor Moon now, would you watch it in subbed?
Probably. I probably wouldn't want to watch the American version.
I feel like I can't do that. Like once I invest into like watching something, like whether it's subbed or dubbed, I have to continue doing that because like the voices and like throw me off so much. Like Dragon Ball Z, I could not watch it subbed. Like, it was my childhood watching it in dubbed, and like I feel like he sounds like such a kid Goku in the anime when it's subbed. I can't do it. It's really just whatever I start off with. Like now I watch subs way more, but if I've watched a dub a while ago, I can't watch the new season in subbed. It throws me off too hard.
No, same. If I was gonna finish Full Metal Panic, I'd do it in dubbed, just because like it would be too weird.
So when you read manga and you hear the voices, you hear like the Japanese voice actors, but in English. How does that work? How does that go?
I guess it depends. If I watch the dub, I picture that. If I watch the sub, I picture that, but like in English. I guess. Yeah, that's weird. But I guess they still have like a Japanese accent or like a tone. That'd be different, right?
Yeah, I guess
that's actually really weird when I think about that. Wow.
Because you said you like to watch the first season and then read the manga to hear the voices, but like, how does that work then? Are they all just speaking Japanese? You learned it subconsciously, and now you can read it.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I wish that's how it worked. It would make this so much easier.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched like over 200 anime. I should be able to speak Japanese by now, right? That's how it works.
Yep, that's how it goes. You just.
There's at least one person out there who learned it that way, and go him.
Yeah, like he was like some super genius. He's like, oh yeah, I know, I just picked it up by watching anime.
Yep. There has to be at least one person. But then there's like all the weebs where they're like, I don't need subtitles.
You know what's funny? Sometimes I'll watch without subtitles when like a raw episode comes out, just to like, if I want to make a video about something, so that I get the information faster. Even if I don't even hear what they're saying, it's just they know what's gonna happen. Which is so weird when I think about that. Like I just wanted to see like, have you watched Seven Deadly Sins? I know Leo hasn't.
I have. I only watched the first season. Yeah. Second season's is not out yet.
So it's not on Netflix, but it's currently like it's out. Like it's like once a week type of thing, like simulcast.
Oh.
So Eskimo, the seventh sin appears, and I've been waiting for this, and I couldn't wait one more day, so I watched the Raw. I mean, that's like I haven't watched a Raw episode in so long since I was doing like individual episode reviews.
Can you kind of like tell what's going on?
It's actually crazy. Like you could actually follow decently. I guess maybe just because it's shonen.
Yeah, well, because you've read it before though too. Like you kind of know what's happening. Yeah, exactly. Like you know what they're saying.
And then you can see like their like facial expressions and like just what's happening. It's not the most complex show, right? It's not like this. I feel like Steins Gate, I would never be able to do. Exactly. Like I feel like they were just like fighting each other and like talking about powers and stuff like that. Like
I think something like Death Note would be harder. Or like, have you watched?
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Have you watched Samurai Flamenco?
Yeah,
like
if so much dialogue, right?
Yeah, if you like, and all of the genre changes and everything. Like, if you edited out all of the dialogue and you didn't know what was happening at all, I think that'd be an interesting experience.
Yeah.
Be like scared and confused.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be.
I tried to show you Samurai Flamenco. You were not impressed. You were just not having it.
Sounds about right. I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't really know what else to add.
I have one more thing.
Dude.
Okay.
Do you think that manga for short-running anime or long-running anime are better? Do you think it's just for long?
Oh. Alright.
Like, if it's just a short-running anime, will you just watch the anime, or do you feel the urge to read the manga, if it's a short manga as well?
Asking the real questions here.
That's a real question. I think I'd probably watch the anime.
Yeah, you'll just watch the anime. Yeah.
Well, it's only 12 episodes. Say it's only 12 episodes, or like 20 chapters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 12 episodes isn't gonna take all that much of my time. I'll probably end up doing both, to be like real. But like I've been doing that a lot lately with newer stuff I watch. I really like it. I'll do both. But I'd probably watch the anime. 12 episodes isn't like a commitment.
Right.
That's true though. Even if there's going to be like huge discrepancies between the two.
That's still my best point. There's just so much more source material a lot of the times.
Yeah. See,
I need that ending.
The ending of the animes is not. There is very few. The only one I can think of is Naruto, where it ended where the manga ended. One Piece is still going. Bleach didn't end where the manga ended either. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and Death Note.
No, well,
Death Note had.
Well, Death Note's short, right? Like 50 I think anything over like 100 episodes, at that point I can't think of like any examples other than Naruto.
Yeah, that finished it to the end. So most of the anime we watched, we've not seen any of the endings.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And like sometimes they'll put a good ending, but then like sometimes they're just the endings like just so bullshit.
Yeah.
Or like the No Game No Life ending where it's like it's basically like, fuck you, go read the manga or go read the light novel.
Yeah.
uh,
So yeah.
accurate.
So yeah, that was all. Those are all my questions.
Awesome, that was fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no problem. It was awesome having you.
Anything you want to add? Anything you want to do real quick before you do an outro?
Don't you always do the outro?
I always do the outros.
Yeah,
So is the outro as cringy as the intro or what?
You have no
yeah,
idea.
a little bit. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, if you like that video, make sure to like, comment what you want to see next, and subscribe to see more of our beautiful faces. And if that still isn't enough for you, make sure to check out our Patreon and our social medias. We have a lot of cool stuff going on over there. Links will be in the end screen and the description below. Anything you want to add?
We should do this more often. This is actually really fun.
Anything you
this
want to
was
add?
fun.
Yeah?
Shinpaku.
Alright.
That's all I got.
Well, bye.
Bye.
Bye.